So in this short video, I am going to tell you how to load a data step, the very first step of image processing or anything related to image, like model training or something. So I have two methods. First is loading dataset from TensorFlow, and second is loading dataset from Google Drive using OpenCV. So TensorFlow library has so many dataset. Now we'll come to this TensorFlow dataset catalog, where here in the left section we can see so many dataset categories. First is 3D dataset, then audio dataset, and I'm scrolling down to it. Like, we will focus on image dataset. So in image dataset also there are several classification like image and image classification, then image clustering dataset, image compression dataset, image generation dataset, and many more. So depending on what model we need to train or what objective we have to obtain, we can choose our dataset. Let us start with a very basic data step, which will be MNIST dataset. So first, in the first cell, as you can see here, we will import the libraries. Let's import all the libraries. In the second cell, we will run this. As you can see here, this is a code to split the loaded data set. We load the data set with TFDS, call the dataset tfds.load. Here MNIST dataset we are calling. Now we'll split it into train and test and store the dataset into four variables: image train, image test, label train, and label test. These are the four variables in which labels and splitted training test dataset are stored. Now we'll check the shape of the loaded dataset. Here there are 60,000 images in this train dataset and 10,000 images in this test dataset. The size of each dataset is 28 cross 28, and this last dimension, the one, this represents the number of channels in the image. So it is one channel, hence it is a grayscale image. It does not have RGB values. Now let us plot using this plot.imshow. Let us plot any image, let us say 100th dataset, and let us print the label of that 100th dataset. So as you can see here, the handwritten digit 9 is coming, and label has also came to be 9. So in this way we just imported the image dataset. Let us select any other dataset here from this image and let us try loading that. Some datasets are very big. For example, like ImageNet 2012 dataset. ImageNet is a very big dataset, so we cannot load it directly. We have to download it, and the downloading will itself take huge lot of memories, and then we have to load it. So only the small dataset or medium dataset can be loaded directly using TensorFlow library in the Google Collab. So let's check some other dataset. For example, this beans dataset. As you can see the figure here, let's call this. So we just have to put the name given there, beans, and this code will split the dataset into image, train, and testing. Now let's print the shape of the loaded dataset. So as you can see, 1034 are in training samples and 128 are in testing sample. The 500 and 500, so the dimension of the image is 500 cross 500. These are the pixel values, and the channel is 3, means it is a colored image. It has 3 RGB values. Now let us load 100th image and let us print the label of that 100th image. So this is the leaf and its label is coming to be class 0. So in this way we have successfully loaded the dataset from the TensorFlow library. So the testing ratio here, as we can see, the splitting ratio is 60,000 is to 10,000, 6:1. Means 90% data or 80% data is training data and 10-20% is testing data. Now let's move to other part, which is we will load the saved data in our drive. If we have our experimental data or somewhere a huge data which we have downloaded, then we can store it or save it in our drive and load it using OpenCV. For this we will have to mount our Google Drive using this icon. So my drive is already mounted. Now let's check. First import the libraries, OpenCV2 library. Then here this is the path where we have saved our images, the folder of that path. And with this cv2.imread we will load all the images, and labels.append will append the labels for every images in this array. So let's run this, and here I'll show you where my data is stored in the content drive, my drive, and then here natural image. As here is the folder of natural image and flowers. Under the folder flowers, let's check what is there. So as you can see, image is loaded. So these are the flowers in the dataset. Now let's check the 100th data of this dataset and print the label of that 100th data. So as you can see here, flower is coming. The image of a flower is printed here. So we have successfully loaded our data. Let's print the 800 data and 800 label. So it's again a flower. Let's print 1800th dataset values. These are the index values. So this is a face. This is a face coming. This was in my second folder where I had human faces. So in this way we can load any data of an image from our drive. So this method is completed. Hope you liked the video. That's all. Thank you.